Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for London Clubs Carnage, of course, your weekly dosage of London Clubs affairs and whatnot. Lawless, talk to me. How you feeling, bro? You good? Another win?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. First back-to-back Premier League wins in 10 months, apparently. So, boy, things are looking up. It was a grind doing this show for a few weeks, a good few weeks this season. It was a grind coming on, but yeah, the sun's come out. Tide's turning. Happy.
Literally, yeah, it actually has today, to be fair. And it's, bro, wow, that's a ridiculous stat that you just reeled off there. Everybody took W's this weekend. Tobs, how you feeling, bro? A win?
Yeah, I'm good. Feeling good. First away win of the season for me as well, that I've actually attended. So, yeah, feeling good.
Yeah. And Potts, bro, big win. The main event, massive win against Liverpool. It doesn't really get much better than that, I guess, until you play City, which was obviously postponed. Everybody wanted to see the big team test and whatnot. I don't know how many more tests people want, but this one was the biggest one so far, and you passed it. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Listen, first of all, apologies for being late, man. Work was absolutely mad. So apologies for that one. I'll take a Tobes on that one. Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, this was a huge...
I said the rule should be you're not allowed to talk about how good Arsenal were. You can only talk about how bad Liverpool were. That's your punishment for being late.
What is that, for being late? Okay, cool.
About Arsenal. And you have to have to address the dodgy decisions in your favour.
Do you know real talk? I was going to say, real talk, I thought Liverpool were the best team we played this season, man. So I ain't going to have it that they were rubbish. And that's the reason we won. I thought both teams were quite. I think that's the best fixture so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that was one of the best games so far the Premier League's seen this season. So if not the best, I thought that it was class, man. So, of course, I'm happy sitting at the top. I didn't think we'd still be here. I can't lie, but we are. So I'm enjoying it and I'm milking it for as long as it lasts, man. And I don't think anyone can blame me for that, man.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we have to start with your game, man. Obviously, Chelsea won as well, but it was a routine against a pretty poor, toothless Wolves team in the end. You 50 seconds into the match, bro. You're ahead. You was at the game, wasn't you, bro?
I was, man.
It must have been limbs. 50 seconds in, bro.
It was mad. I think everyone had just about sat down and it was already jumping up, Simon. It was it was mental. There's always that nervousness about VAR and is it going to count? Is it offside? What's going to happen? And you never know when you're in the ground. And I still hate that because you celebrate like crazy and then you can't at the end of it. But for me, it was a brilliant start. But I can't lie. There was only about 15 minutes of that first half that I felt we were in control. I thought Liverpool were in control for the majority of the first half from 15 to 45, and it looked like the best Liverpool side I've seen this season. I thought everybody was a little bit kind of harsh, saying that Arsenal were going to walk this game. This is an easy 3 points. I always had it in the back of my mind that we could, they could nick a draw, and I said that. I don't know if it was on this show or my show. I kind of predicted a draw because I felt that they had to get something because they're in a bit of a mess at the moment, and they did go all out to try and get that, and some would say they deserved it. I feel personally like after that kind of second goal went in for Saka, just literally on half time. That was a madness for the rest of the game. For me, that was huge. Absolutely huge. To go in at half time 2-1 when I thought they were probably the most dominant of majority of that first half was just crazy. So the second half, though, I felt that we were exactly the same as we were against Spurs. We looked really hungry. I don't know if these team talks are starting to influence or the players. I think the fans need to have a big part in that. I felt that we were a little bit flat in the first half. Second half was just mad. So I think that although some of the decisions would have gone our way in some instances, I do feel like the majority of them were correct, other than maybe the handball against Gabriel. Felt that was a handball.
What about the offside?
What about the
Saka offside?
I need to see that again, man.
Listen to this. Offside? This is what was apparently come out. Technology provider Hawkeye has 5 cameras around the pitch, which can be used to place offside lines, but Saka was out of shot on all of them at the point the ball was played by White. So a failure of technology has caused that to not be able to be checked.
Yeah,
well, if that's the case, then fair play.
Yeah. The first goal we're talking about the first goal, right?
Yeah,
that would be the first goal. Yeah, the Martinelli goal.
I'm not gonna lie, like on first
that's
glance,
the Saka goal, isn't it? It's the Saka goal where he was
Martinelli goal.
Martinelli. It was apparently Saka who was offside, but I didn't think he was when I looked at it. But I don't know, maybe he was.
I can't lie. When I first looked at it, I thought they were checking for offside with Martinelli.
Same.
He was way onside. And then I looked at the second one and I'm like, like he doesn't look conclusively onside. And I'm not taking it away from Arsenal, but it looked like one that if you use VAR for that one, you couldn't be mad at VAR saying that he was offside. Basically,
these situations.
Darwin Nunez was offside for their goal, wasn't he? So it's like kind
Was
of.
he?
But Nunez was, yeah. I don't know how it weren't called, but he was offside for that one.
Let me watch these goals again.
Not that when he scored it, he was onside for that, but the build up he was offside, from what I'm being told. So maybe are we going to have this every week, aren't we? There's going to be decisions where VAR doesn't go your way or it does go your way. The penalty was a penalty for me.
Failure of technology.
The handball he got wrong.
Like, we can't just say, "Oh,
but is that Arsenal's fault? Is that Arsenal's fault?
No, I'm not saying it's Arsenal's fault.
So
what I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. So
what
I
I'm
think
saying is,
we can
have more cameras. Have more cameras. Don't have blind spots. Like
maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe that's what needs to happen.
Having the technology, if it's not fully covered.
I didn't even realize that these were even contentious decisions until you actually brought them up. The Saka one there, that wasn't even something that even, because everybody's watching naturally Martinelli's run.
Yeah, everybody thought he was the one.
Yeah, no one's really watching Saka, so I didn't realize that was contentious. And you're saying you felt like the Nunez one was offside as well? That's insane.
Listen, I've literally watched Match of the Day once because I got in at 1:30 last night. So I literally was asleep while I haven't seen the game because I've been at work all day, so I haven't seen it. But from what I'm being told, the Saka and the Nunez ones were very, very close to being offside. I don't care, man. We won the game 3-2. Who gives a damn? I couldn't give a damn about technology because it's going to go against us and for us. Without a doubt. It went for us yesterday. Gabriel, I thought that was a blatant handball. I'm surprised. When I saw it live, I thought it was. When it looked at it again, I was surprised they didn't give it. The penalty, I mean, that's a penalty, man. What? He's kicked him. He ain't even touched the ball. People are like, oh, that was soft. That was soft.
Soft as shit.
Show me where he touched the ball. Where did he kick the ball?
It's soft.
It's soft
as shit.
It's a soft penalty, guys. It's a penalty.
We were doing a touchline pod at the time, and my mate who's a Liverpool fan was like, "Oh, that doesn't look like a penalty," and we were literally saying, "How?" Like he's literally kicked. Jesus has got there first, and he's kicked Jesus's leg and foot instead of the ball. So why is it not a penalty?
It's they're both going for the ball, both trying to kick the ball. You're gonna come together.
They are, but exactly, they're both going for the ball, but one has got to the ball first. So the one that's got to the ball first, he's got him out, and the other one kicked him. So it's a foul. If that happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul. So I don't see. I don't really see what the contention is here with a penalty.
I didn't get that one. There was like uproar from Liverpool fans, like that's a soft penalty. Yeah, a soft penalty means it's a penalty.
Does he kick from underneath? Does he kick from underneath
his leg, bro? Both of them go for the ball. Jesus kicks it, and then he just kicks his foot. He does not get anything on the ball. How can you kick someone's foot and then not expect it to be a penalty? It's mad to even suggest that's not.
Of
course, it's soft.
He doesn't make contact with the ball. What about Gabriel's handball though? Because
I thought that was blatant. Like, it was up here. I thought that was blatant. But
see, when I was looking at that, I thought that could go either way because it was the proximity of the ball to hitting his hand is very close. But I'm guessing Lawless completely disagrees with that, and he thinks it's a straight handball. And
no, it is close. It is close.
And I don't know if his hand was really in an unnatural position because he's running.
What is he doing? That I'm a little teapot fucking routine or something. Why is his hands like that?
Gabriel handball.
I thought it was a handball. I thought it was a handball, but when you hit it, when he's that close and Jota's crossing the ball, like I feel a bit sorry for defenders in that situation because you literally only have like a split second to sort of like move your hand out of the way. But that being said, I think it was a penalty. I don't think Arsenal fans could be aggrieved if that was given as a penalty. I really don't.
No, probably.
No, I agree with that. I thought that was the one that he got wrong. I didn't think there was much else. I mean, the ref was letting things go. The ref was bad fouls. I didn't think there was much else that was like, this is a horrible decision or horrific stuff. I thought it was.
I'm just watching this again, by the way. This
watching what
penalty? The penalty shout. That is perfect. He's literally putting his toe out, to get onto the end of the ball. He's not swinging. He's not kicked him. He's literally just putting his toe out and he touches his leg. There's not enough force in that. for me to say, yeah, that's Stonewall. That's Stonewall. Like that is.
None of us said it was Stonewall. None of us said it was Stonewall.
Look, it's
you
the
can see why he's giving
contact.
It is
It is
Stonewall. I'm sorry.
Did he kick
Why
it?
is it not Stonewall?
Did he kick the guy?
I don't understand.
Did he kick the guy or did he not? Did he brush him?
Him.
Did he touch him? Did he flick him? Did he touch the guy?
Him.
Whether it was a flick, well, it's a penalty then.
It's a contact sport, though. It's a contact sport.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is a contact sport. It doesn't mean you can. It doesn't mean you can.
I can't believe
you can make contact. You can literally kick someone and miss the ball. And
you're saying that when two players are going in for a ball, you're gonna touch each other. Like your leg might touch the other guy's leg.
If the two players are going for the ball and it's a barge, then it's a 50-50. I can understand that. But when one player has clearly got to the ball first, if they both get to the ball at the same time and there's a collision, okay, you have something to talk about. But when one player gets to the ball first, that's the risk you run. You're going into that knowing that if you don't get that ball first, it's a penalty. And that's what they gave. We've seen this happen time and time again in football. For me, this isn't even worth discussing because it's a Stonewall penalty. Yeah. You can't complain about that. You can't complain about that, Lawless. I'm sorry, you just can't.
That's, you know what I mean? If that's, we got to look at this because if that's a penalty, man, and we're saying that, boy,
I'm glad that you are talking about refereeing decisions because
we're gonna get onto your in a minute. Yeah, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
We will.
If he's won the ball there, fair play. But he hasn't. He's kicked the man, so they're gonna give a penalty.
Saying like that's literally the level of contact with.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
And that's enough. That's enough nowadays.
I'm so confused.
Before we move on to
why this is a hard thing.
Before we move on to Liverpool, I'm not gonna let Lawless drag this out for 30 minutes. Is Trent on that right hand side, right? He's getting talked about a lot. Is he overspoken about for you? No, he's not overspoken about.
No, he was not bad. Overspoken about. The other defenders just need to be spoken about
alongside with him. Yes. Yeah. Because Matip, Van Dijk, nobody was good really.
But they haven't been good all year, have they? I think I'm not so sure. The first goal, and I do need to see these all again, by the way, because I literally haven't had time. It's been mad. I'm not so sure Trent could do much more than I've been screwed over here. My backline's all over the place. Martinelli has done me, but yeah, I've been done by a bit of pace. I think it's very hard. What I'm trying to get at is very hard for Trent to be singled out for that goal, in my opinion. I think defensively it was poor over that side, right? But my God, did he roast him most of the game? I mean, Martinelli was man of the match by far. Gomez come on, and to be fair to him, did all right, I thought.
That's the point being made, Potts. Gomez came on, and Martinelli's flame was dampened. I'm sorry, it was. It's not taking anything away from Martinelli being man of the match.
It was still quality, but I'm with you, yeah.
Gomez was touch tight. Gomez did not let this guy maneuver the way he was maneuvering against Trent. When he wanted to go on the outside, when he wanted to try and come on the inside, Gomez would show him on the outside. And when he did successfully try and come on the inside, Gomez would stay touch tight, so Martinelli couldn't get a shot off. And in the end, he'd have to release the ball. Doesn't take anything away from Martinelli's performance. I think he was fantastic. But I do think that those basics that Gomez was able to do, Trent wasn't able to do, and that's where Arsenal got a lot of joy on that left-hand side.
That left-hand side, man, was mad, and one of the reasons for that was Tomiyasu, man.
Yeah,
like he came in at the back, and I was just like, I mean, what the hell is that all about? Like, I was so surprised.
Arteta'S.
Are we surprised by this with Tomiyasu? Because for me, for the most part in the league, he's been a lockdown defender. He's locked down the likes of ASM. He did a job at left back against I can't remember who it was you played last season, where he clamps on at left back as well. Like, he is someone who looks a diligent defender, and he's actually very comfortable with your feet.
He's quality, but my thing was, and I said this on the team news on AFTV, I was like, Zinchenko's out. Kieran Tierney, where's he? He was man of the match on Thursday night. He came off on 70 minutes. Clearly, he's either got a knock and he's not ready, or this is tactical. And it turned out it was tactical, because for me, Zinchenko is nowhere near good enough in terms of defensively in comparison to Tierney or Tomiyasu. No way. And he looked at Salah and Trent and thought, let's not laugh too loud, because when they get it right, they're ridiculously good on that right-hand side. So Tomiyasu coming, I thought, along with Martinelli, was man of the match. He was absolutely superb, mate. Salah ended up getting subbed because he was just ineffective because of Tomiyasu. That's how good he was. So the last time he played at left back was actually against Spurs, when you got when we got battered by you guys. He played left back against was it Kulusevski on the right, or so I can't remember. But by that time, you'd already been like 2-0 up, holding was off, and you couldn't really be effective. But he was quality as a left back for me. And Ben White is becoming a Mr. Consistent player, man, on that right back. He is literally now starting to overlap and be more of an attacking right back, something which I think he was allowed to do more now that Tomiyasu was the defensive discipline on the other side. And it really suited his game. He was causing havoc down that right-hand side. And you know, I think it was all about the width for me. And when you talk about Liverpool, you talk about width. You don't expect it to be just all about width with Arsenal, because it hasn't been over the years. For me, Martinelli and Saka, wow performances in parts of the game. So, yeah, man, it was great to see.
Do you think... Go on, Matisse.
Arteta's obviously got to get a lot of credit for playing Tomiyasu, right, at left back, because nobody saw that coming. Everybody was like, it's going to be Tierney, Zinchenko's out. But he's put a right footer to literally just keep Salah completely quiet, cutting in on his left. And I'm wondering what people think, like why, because from what I'm seeing, the reason why I'm not seeing an effective Salah is because I'm not seeing him as close to the box as I used to. And I'm not seeing him on the end of passes. I'm not seeing him running in behind lines. I'm seeing him as more the creator that has to stay out wide and facilitate for others. But I don't know what you guys put it down to. It's been awful.
This creator hype, man.
You think it's the creator hype? He's been bad since January. I can't figure out why.
This creator hype that I'm seeing people use to mask how poor Mo Salah's playing in these games.
No, I'm not saying he's creating. I'm saying his role is now to create.
Bro,
I'm not saying he's creating either.
But and what did he create yesterday? If he's always to create, what did he create yesterday?
He didn't create anything. I mean, you take this up with Grizz, because Grizz will tell you the leading expected chances. And I said on the big tips, I said to Grizz, that's hogwash, boulder dash, whatever you want to call it. You're just saying stuff. Watch the game for 90 minutes, and you can clearly see this is not a normal Mo Salah performance. He was padlocked against Tomiyasu, and he's been poor all season. He's been poor all season since January.
Forget about Champions
And do you know what's mad?
Do
you know what's mad? Like I'm not comparing Salah in terms of quality to Aubameyang and Özil, but when they both signed that big contract, they got slated, rightly so, slated for their poor form. And I'm not hearing this from Salah. Now, maybe he has to do it for a bit longer and be poor for longer. Maybe he's got more credit in the bank. I don't know. But when I look at it, I think he needs to be questioned about how poor he's been, because I'm with Tobs. It ain't just the first 9 games of the season here. He was poor towards the end of last season as well. So for me, I don't know. I'm not seeing it, man. And I thought he was one of the best in the world at the start of last season. I couldn't see anyone better than him. And now he's just tailed off, man.
The drop-off is staggering. It's absolutely staggering. But it's not just it. Like I said, it's a lot of their players. And I think you've got to look at Klopp and his inability to freshen up that team. That team's gotten a bit stale, gotten a bit old now, and he needs to...
The 7-year Roman, mate. The 7-year Roman, they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they say, isn't it? But it's one of those, like, because he come out, and especially on the Trent thing, he come out recently, he made some, like, interesting points about Trent's defending, saying, you know, it's because we play high-risk football, and it's what I ask him to do. Every time I look at Trent and watch the Brighton game, and I watch this, is basic things that he gets wrong. It's basic defensive things, and it doesn't show you, oh, that's because he asked to play him high up the pitch, or you know, wants to play. He's making basic errors. Like that second goal, he gets drawn out where Henderson's already, you know, covering him, and just leaves a massive gap for them to pass it into. Like it's just simple things.
But even beyond the Trent thing, I think the one thing which needs to be spoken about beyond Trent is, as a unit defensively, Liverpool are still easy to get at. They played really well against Arsenal in the first half, and Arsenal still had some change. Look at the first goal, for instance. So Liverpool go straight on the attack. Look how many bodies they committed to their attack. We all know that they play with like a high, they play a high line, and they play quite aggressive. They want to get into your faces straight away. But what we've seen this season is the press is not working. They're not stopping teams. They're not stopping teams breaking at their goal, and they're not stopping teams, or their counter press isn't working. Sorry. And within 3-4 passes from that first kickoff, Arsenal are in at their goal and they've scored. That's not just a Trent issue. That's a team issue.
We need to talk about Van Dijk. What's happened to Van Dijk?
They're way too easy to get at, and players are starting to make small mistakes all over the pitch. And funnily enough, Thiago, I thought he was really good in the first half.
He was superb.
I thought Henderson did relatively okay in the first half, but once Arsenal raised it up a notch in the second half again, they still couldn't cope. And I think fundamentally, no matter how well Liverpool are playing in these games, you can still get at their defense. That's something you couldn't say much before. We're seeing it throughout this season. It's too easy to get at Liverpool's defense. It's too easy. It's too easy.
But do you feel like, because Fabinho is in poor form, so I can't even say that he comes in and fixes it, but do you think they should have played Fabinho with Thiago and Henderson?
The thing is, you
They
say
should have
that
played
they
him. It
already
wouldn't
were
matter.
playing
It
him.
wouldn't matter.
They already were,
they
weren't
probably
they?
would have lost anyway.
Yeah, they already were. That the reason they went with the same formation that they did against Rangers midweek. They basically played Jota behind Darwin Nunez, and they dropped Fabinho out to play Henderson and Thiago because Fabinho has been so poor. They actually had to bring him back on. So I don't know. At the moment, whatever he's trying, it's not working out. But I do want to big up Arsenal a bit though, here, because I think so far we've gone on about technology and we've gone on about how poor Liverpool were. I don't think that was what I think we deserve a little bit of credit, man, the way we're playing at the moment. I really do. And I know you've credited Arteta and Tomiyasu, but there was more to that for me. I thought the way we're playing at the moment, the style of football is attractive to watch. I think the way that Arteta has turned some of these players around, it deserves credit for it. Granit Xhaka, Ben White, players that have been consistently good, like Ben White, that don't really get the credit. Like everyone's talking about the Martinellis of the world and the Jesuses and the Salibas. Ben White's been right up there with form and consistency, out of position that he's out of position. And I think that he's a player that people don't seem to want to credit. It's bizarre for me because I really like what I'm seeing from Ben White. And I just think we deserve our flowers at the moment, man. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think we're going to win the league. I think at the moment, if you were to look 10 games in that we pretty much are now, who's Man City's main competitors? I think most people would say Arsenal at the moment. That could change. Injuries could change that. Lots of fixtures could change that. But where we are right now, which is all we can talk about, I think we're looking good, man, and I'm really looking forward to the matches and think we're playing good football.
I think with Arsenal, annoyingly, and it's pissing me off. I think with Arsenal, the last two games, what impresses me the most is that their opposition will find a way to get back into the game, and they'll find another gear to go to sort of take the game away from the opposition. They did it against us, and they did it against Liverpool because and I repeat, that wasn't a bad Liverpool performance. On another day, Liverpool could play like that and they don't lose the game. Do you get what I'm saying? But
Agreed.
Arsenal did what they needed to do to win, and they deservedly won as well. So you have to commend them for being able to find ways when the game isn't going as planned for them.
I think a lot of it comes down to confidence and belief. And I think that's what they are. The confidence is running absolutely sky high at the moment for Arsenal. So when you're in them situations, how you've played recently, how games have gone recently, that self-belief, you can get yourself back in the game, or you can get the lead back, take the lead back quickly because of how games have gone recently. That's where confidence comes. And the opposite is when your confidence is low, you're down in the dumps. And so, yeah, I think that's a big part of it is that self-confidence and some of the players stepping up, some of the new players, and some of the players there from last season. So,
like, what are you not thinking now? Like, what are you actually thinking? Like, 9 games in, are you thinking Arsenal might sneak top 4? Arsenal have guaranteed it. Arsenal might challenge City. Where are you at? Like, where are you actually at? Honestly,
top 4's guaranteed.
There's no guarantees.
Your favourites right now. Your favourites for top 4, like out of everyone in the top 4 race. I think that's safe to say. Guaranteed is a tough word because, like, I think European games, I think World Cup, I think could potentially turn everything on its head for a lot of us. And the league come January, February, everything could be looking a lot different. But right now, that's with much buts and maybes. Right now, Arsenal are the favourites to get top 4 out in that top 4 race.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long slug, and I think Liverpool are part of it now. I think Liverpool fans and the Liverpool team and the way Liverpool are spoken about, they don't want to mention themselves in a top 4 race, but I think they're in a top 4 race now. With the way that
how many points are they behind Arsenal now? What is it? 14, 10?
14 points. So I think they're in the race, and
they can't say that
because they have Man City next, so it's not even a guarantee that things get better. But let's move on to Tottenham because I know Tobs has got to go soon. You changed to a 3-5-2. You was begging for that. You probably absolutely had to do that as well from what I could see with the way Brighton set up with those 4 midfielders, Trossard and Pascal Gross kind of tucking in ahead of McAllister and Caicedo. So, yeah, tactically, I think you guys got that. You pretty much spot on. But, I mean, how are you feeling? Because another game where maybe people will say Brighton were probably the better team in the second half or after the goal. So, I don't know.
I don't really care. I don't really care what people think, because I watched the game with my own eyes, and yeah, we were quite poor in the second half. But when I take things into perspective, Brighton are one of the most informed teams in the league this season. That was their first loss at home in 7 months. Coincidentally, that we were the last team to beat them. When we went there and beat them comfortably last season when they were out of form, why didn't we get any dues then? When we beat them, we had 3, 4, 5 chances at their ground. Nobody said a word. But when we go there and we adopt a different approach that had some positives and limit the influence that some of their key men would have on the game, it's a bad thing. I'm not really.
Were you entertained? Were you entertained?
I was calm. Yeah, I was actually calm.
You was calm.
Yeah, I was calm. Listen, I went to the game, so I wouldn't lie to you if
Yeah, but you didn't say if you was entertained. Was you entertained?
No, I wouldn't say it was an entertaining game. I'm not going to deny that, but I don't care about being entertaining.
To be fair, Toby's never been the one to keep punching, entertaining football. And I've always said as well, Tottenham don't have a way before they win something. So if this is how they have to play to win a trophy, then fair enough.
That's what I always say.
Everyone don't win a trophy.
There's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be a middle ground. Like, we can and should be playing better. But what I'm saying is, in a game like Brighton, after what happened 2 days before with Gianpiero passing away, like, I'm not really looking for a swashbuckling performance. I already saw enough against Frankfurt in that annoying 0-0 draw against Frankfurt that was a much improved performance. We were able to create chances, and on the day, it was only really our attack that let us down. Against Brighton, Trossard has been one of probably the most informed wide man in the league this season. Did you hear much of Trossard on Saturday? Did you hear much from Trossard? Pascal Gross has been one of their most influential players. Did you hear much from Pascal Gross? Did you?
Everyone has
their best player. Their best player was their left winger they bought on for me.
Matoma?
He looked dangerous. I can't remember his name. Yeah,
Matoma, I think.
That's him. Yeah.
So, like, for me, it's one of them ones where I'm like, people want me to be angry at Spurs going there, nullifying the opposition and winning and keeping a clean sheet. And
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that, bro.
Against one of the most informed sides this season, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
No, I just feel like the question marks are still there for Spurs over.
I never said the question marks have gone away, though, Lawless. I never said the question marks have gone away, but we're talking about the context of this result. This was a good result for Spurs. It's a big win, because that's a ground. That's a team that's taken scalps this season. They've beaten you. They've beaten Man United. They should have beaten Liverpool. And yet Spurs should be going
got a new manager now. I think a lot of them results obviously happen under Potter.
You're saying that. You're saying that with a smile.
Anfield and they should have won. What are you talking about?
No, I know that was a good game.
But all that hard work under Potter is not just going to be
love Lawless, man.
All that hard work under Potter is not just going to be ripped up within a couple of weeks.
But
like,
it's because they beat West Ham.
The same fundamentals are still going to be there. Like, even and I say this because even when Lampard came in after Sarri, the first like month and a half, we were still playing very similar to football to what we played under Sarri, because you're just not going to just make a whole team just completely change everything that their brain is wired to do over years of a coach, or even 1 year. So I don't agree that new manager suddenly they're just going to just start down in tools, or they're going to
not necessarily down in tools, but there's going to be a short transitional period a lot of the time while the players.
I think they've played well under De Zerbi so far. I think they've played all right. So I know that was 3 games. They've looked all right in my opinion.
My thing is, sorry, go on, Potts, go on.
I was just going to say, like, just quickly, I'm getting bored of this now. Like, we know what Conte does and how he plays. I know he has played better than this, but if it wins you games, who actually cares as a Tottenham fan? Like, if he was the Arsenal manager and he was winning games, I might sit there and say, yeah, I'm not entertained, but I'm winning. And you know what? I grew up on that with George Graham. We weren't the best team to watch. No way. We used to win 1-0 and 2-1. And then we used to win trophies. I didn't care. That's what Tottenham have done. They tried the attractive football under Pochettino, and it won them sweet FA. Right? Then they went to try and go a proven winner in Jose Mourinho, and it was boring to watch. But they went down that route to try and win something, and it didn't work. So now they've got an even better coach in an elite side. Well, there you go. They sacked him even before that. Now they've got an elite coach who will win them something, playing crap football at times, and that's what they've accepted. That's the way it is. Why are we shocked by this? I don't get it.
You know it is, but the thing is, some people haven't accepted it. But anyway, the point I was making is on that Brighton game as well. Yeah, like we did some good things in that game, and no one wants to talk about it. We played the free midfield. We pressed higher up the pitch. We actually got in Brighton's faces for the first 25, 30 minutes of that game. Nobody could begrudge Spurs being 1-0 up. Nobody. We were the better side against a team that have. And again, I have to stress, I know it is Brighton. Spurs should be going there with the objective to beat Brighton. I'm not trying to make Brighton seem like there's some giant. But what I'm saying is they have been one of the most dangerous sides in the league this season, and we've gone there and we've nullified them. When you look at some of our other games so far this season, the problem is sustainability. It's one, in addition to the fact that Spurs weren't really playing that well, in some of these matches, we weren't really stopping the opposition from getting at our goal. Brighton, they barely created anything against us, and the only chance they created was courtesy of poor play from Richarlison and Cess to literally just gift the ball to Danny Welbeck. Otherwise, even though they had some good bits, some good passages of passing, they didn't really like threaten us that much. They didn't, and those are the type of performances away from home where I'm calm. It's when we're playing at home, when we're playing some of these matches on some of these better sides, when we're playing some of these sides where the game is there for the taking. Go and take it. Press higher up. Be more aggressive. Be in the opposition's faces. These are things that are in Conte's control, and we've seen signs of that over our last 2 games. So I have to take hope in the fact that there's going to be improvement in performances. And my final point is I'll keep reiterating. In addition to Conte, it's not just a Conte thing. Look at some of our players. Please. Son again was terrible against Brighton. Terrible. Harry Kane scored.
Look at
Son again. Harry Kane still. I know he scored. I'm still waiting for a 90-minute performance from Harry Kane when I can say he's played well, and he's got 8 Premier League goals and 9.
But is it because Chelsea's attackers were called similar? Tuchel not getting the best out of their attackers. Is this Conte not getting the best out of his attackers? His world class attackers.
We've scored. Listen,
are you committing enough numbers forward, Toby?
No, you're right. I think there is an element to playing it. I think in some cases you can say that the approach. You can say that the approach in some games this season has been too negative. Like we're letting the opposition done to us too much. We're not getting ourselves into positions where we can fashion chances. But then I can look at games like Frankfurt where we can press higher up, get the ball to our attackers in and around the final third, and create meaningful opportunities, and they're still not getting the shots off because it's just poor passages of play. So what I'm saying is it can't just be Conte. You have to look at the thing in totality. But either way, I can't believe I'm doing this after a week. We won.
You won.
We won, and we deserve to win that game. So there you go.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting. For me, though, I mean, top 4 fight is very close, and people are saying that Arsenal, they feel like are almost, the favourites, right? That's what was said. Liverpool would be a big shock if they were to not make it. If it's between Chelsea and Tottenham, and say, if we don't make it, I'm pretty sure our manager's still going to be here. That was what we were told by the report. But if you guys don't make it, Tobes, I have to ask you, especially if you were to play like this for the majority of the rest of the season and you weren't to make top 4, just missed out, like, because it is a possibility. So you may as well think about it. What would you be feeling in terms of content?
I'd be feeling disappointed, but I would also be feeling. I also expect that Spurs will start to play better because we have the capacity to play better. We have players that can make our football play better. We have a manager that can tweak his approach to make Spurs play better. I don't believe that we're going to be playing like this all season. I really don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, one of us has got to move out of the way for top 4 because West Ham are on the way up, man. I mean,
we're only 6 points off.
It's a great segue. Are you only 6 points off, really?
Only 6 points off top.
Move out of the way. Move out of the way. They're coming through, boys. They're coming through.
Don't write us off yet.
Wait, 6 points off who?
I think is it Chelsea? Who's in 4th? Is it Chelsea?
I think we've got a game in hand, but we're
Chelsea. We're 6 points off Chelsea.
Have you played a game more?
Yeah.
All right, when you lose that, we'll don't start this game in hand shit, man.
It's important game in hand.
Oh my God.
I think it's quite important, yeah.
Game in
Or is
hand,
it points on the board? That's what we kept hearing all the
Points
time when
on
West
the
Ham
board.
were in the thing.
That's
Points on
what
the
you
board.
used to say.
Did you know favours last
West
time?
Ham's game in hand is against Newcastle at home, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
can I ask you, Lawless? You've been speaking about refereeing decisions and things not going
Let's
the way you would want it, and obviously Stamford Bridge was a tough day for you. So, are you happy with the balancing of play now with your dodgy decisions?
I'm ready for this. I'm
what
ready.
do you think of the first of all, what do you think of the referee's performance in that game?
I thought he was excellent. Of course he was. I thought he was. Listen, I thought he was.
Liverpool Arsenal, he was shocking. So there we go.
No, I thought he had a good game. To be fair, I thought he got the big decisions right and the contentious decisions. Look, I mean, what decision? Talk to me about decisions, because I don't know what decisions you guys think are the bad decisions or what he got wrong or what shouldn't have happened. Come at me and I'll swat them away.
The Antonio one was
right. I'm glad you said that. Come on. I'm gonna deal with this. Come on, I'm ready for this.
I think the Skamaka one was fine. I don't think that's a handball. Like, he doesn't really, his arm isn't in an unnatural position, and the ball deflects onto his arm. So the Skamaka one is fine. I've not really seen the penalty one, so I can't talk on that. But the Antonio one is actually egregious. Like, he's literally used his hand to push the ball in his direction, and he's run on and he scored. Like, why is that not ruled out?
I'm going to tell you why, Tobs.
Because of the technicality. Oh, because it was a second phase of play. All of this rubbish, right?
And it's not a technicality. Right? That's true. Watch. Look at this. Just look at that. Look who's got the ball. Who's got the ball right now? The Fulham player. Where's Antonio? Antonio's there. He gets the ball off the Fulham player. He does not use his hand at all. So he wins the ball back and scores, right? So where's the handball in that? In the build up to that. Now to use, that's how it works. That's the letter of the law.
And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, I hate stuff like this, because we know what's what here. Like, they should be disallowing that goal.
Why?
Like, common sense. The thing is, you're talking about rules. Common sense has to prevail, because he does not get that advantage. He does not get that advantage if he doesn't handle the ball. So why does common sense not prevail?
Yeah, but for a start, let's go back to the build-up of how he does handle the ball.
It's fine because it wasn't the second goal, it's the third goal. But that mistake, that decision was a joke.
It wasn't. Like I just showed you, they can't use VAR to wheel something back that was in a different phase of play. You can't do that. And plus, you was happy to sit there.
I don't think you'd be saying that if it went against you. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
That doesn't sound very consistent with what you've been saying. But
let's look at the context of the handball, right? Antonio's running in. Their defender flies in, right, on a tackle that could have potentially been a red. Antonio sort of jumps out the way, avoiding it. The ball gets knocked up from close quarters. We want to talk about the Gabriel and why that weren't a red. From close quarters, gets knocked up into his arm. He can't. What's he supposed to do with his arm? His arm's in front of him. His arms ain't out wide. They ain't in the air. They ain't spread out. His arms are where they should be, running forward. So what is he supposed to do? Chop his arms off. Then he goes and runs through. The defender comes in, wins the ball back off Antonio, but he's not got the ball now. Antonio goes and wins the ball back and scores. So what are we trying to say here? Why are we ruling? Why would we rule that off? It's not an intentional handball. The ball got knocked to his arm in close quarters. It was in a different phase of play. Like, how many different points do you want?
You've come prepared for your defense of.
I'm ready for that. That's dealt with, right? Nice. Let's talk about the Tobs said about the penalty. Now that was right in front of me. The guy was warned multiple times. Stop, like, obstructing it. Stop jumping all over him. And he kept doing it. He was warned like 2-3 times. He goes, and he's literally, if you do that again, I'm going to give you a penalty.
I've just seen it. Before I go, I don't have any objections with. I think apart from the Antonio one, I think the other decisions were spot on. To be honest,
So fair enough. And
before you go quickly, West Ham.
Tobs is about to leave just before the Havertz and Pulisic race.
West Ham or what?
West Ham. West Ham. We're on the up. Yeah, you're ready to say that.
Okay, yeah, you've picked up form, yeah. But okay.
All right, you went too early. Like you went too early on Son when he scored those.
I went too early. How did I go too early? Did I rule you out of?
You did.
of
You
not
ruled
coming
us
back?
out of everything. You ruled us out of
Matisse,
everything.
Potts, what did I rule West Ham out of? What's the one thing I've ruled West Ham out of?
Champions League football.
No.
Yeah, Champions League.
Europa League. You ruled us out.
No.
Europa League.
Nope.
Did we?
You said
No,
we're not finishing above Man United.
Yeah, we said we don't think you're going to finish above them.
I said I don't think you're going to finish.
Oh no, I said
Didn't
that. I
rule
don't
you
think
out.
Tobs said it.
Yeah, he did. Tobs ruled us. He
I
literally.
think we all
ruled us
agree
out.
that you're not going to finish ahead of Man United.
Okay, so
that's not ruling you out though.
Let's just say this. All right, cool. Because I think at the start I did, and then you said, you know what? Why can't we? Why can't we? I said, okay, fine, Lawless, you can. I don't believe you will, but let's just say I've ruled you out of that. So basically I've said because you can't finish in the top 6. That's me basically saying you're going to be in the relegation zone all season.
No, I'm just saying you ruled us out too early.
The Conference League is still
Early
there.
what? You're crazy. Let me check this table.
The Conference League is still there, by the way.
It's crazy.
No one's ruling you out of that.
And we're undefeated in that. We've won every game. We beat Anderlecht.
I would assume so, considering you're playing bloody Hackasau and
Anderlecht, mate. What about flipping who Arsenal was playing? Whoever Arsenal was playing.
Sorry, guys, I need to go in it.
Latest Tobs.
Politic praise. Go on, off you go.
He's bringing it back down to Arsenal again now. What is this with Lawless, man?
No,
Lawless would not give Arsenal any flowers.
You're 13th, by the way. Like, slow your roll.
Who we're playing. You was playing Omanatapia or whoever they are, FC. Yeah, the other day.
Bodo and Glimt, mate. Bodo and Glimt. Put some respect on their name. I'm going to do you. Put some respect on their name.
What did they win? How many European titles?
I don't know what they've won, mate. I ain't got a clue. Probably F all. Sorry,
sounds like Gimp or something. I don't know. What's going on?
But we beat Anderlecht. Yeah,
Anderlecht's a good team. No,
they're a good team.
Well, they got a good history. I don't know what they are currently.
Thanks to an unbelievably world-class save from bargain of the season, Areola. If it wasn't for that, what would they have done?
Come on, Potts.
I mean, I don't know why he's not playing ahead of Fabianski for me, man. Why, but there we go. Can I just say quickly, by the way? Can I just say, I want to give David Moyes a bit of credit, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think people have gone too early on this guy. This man was in a relegation zone, 3 years ago? And now he's putting like West Ham into European semi-finals. And because the first few games have gone, people want him out. Like for me, he's made some mistakes this season by not playing the players that he's bought. Now he's playing them. West Ham are picking up points. So you can't blame him. He's basically saying, I've got it wrong. These guys clearly from last year ain't good enough. So I need to get Skamaka involved. He looks quality.
Yeah, Skamaka.
Paqueta. He looks quality. Paqueta, He looks decent. I think he's a decent player anyway, but he looks decent. I feel like we saw Ben Rama the other night. He missed a sitter, by the way, Lawless, Ben Rama. When I see it in the pub, I was like, how the hell did he miss that? But I like him. Obviously, Maxwell Cornet coming into the mix. Obviously, Carrera, is it? Kera? Whatever his name is. He's playing and looks good. I don't think we could sit there too much at Moyes at the moment. I think Moyes is... I know you're not set on him. I get why, because there's parts of his game that's frustrating. But I don't think after what he's done in Europe and in the league of the last few weeks that you can be too down on him, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm still there with Moyes.
No, you're not on. You can't be there, bro. It's been how long's he been the manager for now?
Yeah,
you must. Come on, man. You can't be flip-flopping. You got to make a decision. What is it? Either back him or I want him out, man. You can't. You're not 2.5 years in, bro. Come on.
Listen, you've been on the fence with Arteta for a while, so I don't.
Me on the fence. For a while. Listen, you can come and talk to anybody but me about being on a fence about a manager. How much abuse do I get for wanting him out?
In, out, shake it all about.
I've been out for a long time with Arteta. I'm giving him this when he can convince me that he can put us into a title race, which is where I want to be, which we sat the other two managers for not doing. I'll get behind this guy all day long, but he ain't been able to do it. Say again.
Arteta out.
I've been Arteta out for 2.5 years now.
Okay, so you're still.
I don't think he's saying that he should be sacked right now, but he's saying
no. He can change my opinion.
No, because you can't pull that one. Because now, if I ask you right now, are you Moyes out? You've said a couple of weeks ago, give it a few more games. If he doesn't pick up results,
I've never been Moyes out.
But you're not Moyes in though. So you're the same as Potts.
You're the same as me. And do you know what makes it worse? Do you know what makes it worse, right? Is the fact that David Moyes has actually, in my opinion, done
achieved more.
Really good job at West Ham, getting West Ham where they were to where they are. Arteta has come 8th, 8th, and 5th. In comparison, you should be Moyes has done a great job. Not sure. Like what did you want?
Moyes has taken you to a European semi-final. That's never been done. That's never been done. Have you ever seen West Ham do that in your lifetime?
No,
of course you haven't.
The way they were documenting, the way they were vlogging the European trips, like David Dobrik. Yeah, they were like, yo, we're going to Sevilla, we're going to Frankfurt, we're going.
Listen, right? They were buzzing for that. No doubt about it. But it's the future. My eye is on the future. And my question marks was, can he handle a big squad? Can he handle a big squad? Can he spend and progress the team? That's where my question marks lie. Not over anything he's achieved, but what he could yet possibly achieve in sustaining us in those positions.
Yeah. And I agree with you. That's what I've spoken about.
I agree with that. But what gets him like credit and what gets him sacked this season for you, Lawless?
I think credit is if we finish in the European places or win a trophy or at least get to a final. Gets him sacked, I think, if we finish in the bottom half of the table, like near the relegation zone.
Yeah, I think that's fair, man. I think that's fair.
I think if you finish, say, 10th or 9th, but Paqueta has a bad season, Scamacca has a bad season, Cornet, like if your new signings don't play well under him and his philosophy, then I think that also gets him sacked because you've invested so much money into the squad. They have to work out, really. They should. Yeah. They're great players. Like they're really good players that you signed. So they shouldn't flop. So if they flop, I think a lot of the blame will have to be probably on him not being able to get the best out of them in terms of the way they're trying to play stylistically and what he is used to doing stylistically. Because this is a manager that does Fellaini. Traditionally does Antonio. So when you give him a Scamacca and a Paqueta, if it doesn't work out, makes sense really. But then you have to choose between the players and the manager.
Yeah, 100%. I think you made a good point there. He will get if they flop, but he tries them and he gives them a chance. He gets a little bit more credit than not playing these players and sticking with the same old when you've spent money on these players and not giving them chances. You know, we need to start looking at Flynn Downs now, who's been, excellent in Europe. He was great against.
What, you want to play him ahead of Souček?
Yeah, right. Souček, without doubt, because Souček still, it's just not the guy for that position. I think Souček's great when we're maybe facing a Man City or someone like that, and we haven't.
When you have more of the ball.
Yeah, like when we need someone in that for that defensive resilience, he's great at that. But when it comes to progressing the ball, no, he's still not doing it for me. Even though his defensive performances have slightly improved. Flynn Downs, I've liked what he does. I've liked what I've seen from what he's been doing. His ability to pick out a pass, and he can still get stuck in. So yeah, I want to see that guy start. He'll probably start on Thursday, but let's get him ready because he's not doing it for me, really and truly. And then Aguerd, I am excited for him to come back. I want to see Moyes when he gets the full signings. We have Aguerd, Zuma, and Kerr on the right. Crespo shouldn't be starting. Emerson should be starting. That's a bone of contention for me. Still not fully convinced on Bowen. He took his penalty well, and he's improved, but he's still not Bowen. He's still not levels of last season yet. I need to see that step up. But yeah, man, Scamacca, that guy. He is something else.
Really good finish.
Refreshing to have a number 9, man, isn't it? Refreshing to have a proper centre forward for you.
He's very much like he almost reminds me of he's Harry Kane-esque in a way. And I'm not saying he's as good as Harry Kane right now. What I'm saying
just mean he gets involved in all the play. He helps create. Yeah. He's not just a penalty box striker. He's actually he could drop deep, he can go run, make the wide runs, but he's also good in the box. He's got a bit of everything. Like he technically he looks very complete. I can't lie.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah, he's like a complete striker. He will drop deep and create chances and run to get on the end of them. And it's just a joy to watch. And the thing is, what I noticed is he had a few chances and he forced some good saves. Before he was playing, we weren't testing keepers. We weren't forcing saves.
Yeah,
the shot on target would be, you know, that's the goal. If we were going to score, it'd be the one shot on target. Or, you know, we would, you know, have a shot and it'd just be an easy catch for the keeper. We weren't forcing the keepers to work into saves, and he was doing that. He was testing the keeper, and eventually, you know, he scored. He took his goal well. Paqueta, Scamacca again. Them two, mate, they're going to be a partnership that I think is going to be very, very fruitful for us. Like the assist from Paqueta in the Europa League to Scamacca and the Scamacca goal. Oh, brilliant. And then Scamacca again, chipping the keeper. From where I was sitting, it looked like it went over the crossbar.
Yeah.
I didn't celebrate. I was like, oh, shit. And then, like, I heard, like, I was looking over the other end and I'm like, oh, people are cheering over there. What's going on? And then the VAR happened and it was like offside. We're flagging like, oh, shit, they're looking for offside. Offside not given. Oh, handball. And it's like, all right, they're looking for a way to rule it out. It's not going to count. And it counted. And he's got 3-3 now, Scamacca.
Those two players that you signed, they're definitely like of the quality of top six, where, you know, that's the level you're trying to sustain. Same with like Bruno Gomes over the weekend for Newcastle. That's a top six player. He's unbelievable. Like these players that you've been able to buy up, they're players that really the big six clubs really should have been looking at, but you know they didn't. They had
a good window, West Ham.
They had a very good window, and that's why the pressure is on Moyes, because they did have a great window. But at the same time, it's also very important to compare what West Ham had to do and what other teams ahead of them have done. Also, it's not like the teams ahead of them have taken their foot off the gas. It's not like Man United didn't do business. Tottenham didn't do business. So it's like to leapfrog these teams, even with what West Ham have done, is a very tall order, despite signing all these players. So I think you just need to try and keep with the pace of everybody and don't fall. Like you shouldn't be below really Brighton with the spend and, you know, even Newcastle just yet. You know, you want to kind of keep ahead of them.
I'm not convinced on Man United yet. I'm still not fully convinced on us yet. I still need to see more week in, week out. But I can safely say we have some good players in there. And like Man United have good players, it's about the whole. It's about that whole now. Can we bring it all together as a unit rather than just relying on some brilliance from a few players? Having Antonio come on and score is a big boost now, because it shows now we have that depth. We have a player to bring off the bench who can come when things ain't working. He's a different type of striker. And look at the difference in the types of goals. That was a very Antonio goal that he scored. And Scamacca, very Scamacca, completely different types of players. So having that depth, man, that's something we could have done with last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't look at West Ham and I can't look at Man United and look at us and see, okay, like these are the finished articles. These teams are solid now. Like I said, still question marks over us. I need to see it against Southampton. We've got Man United after that, which is going to be an interesting test at Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, okay.
At Old Trafford, and then Bournemouth. So take out Man United, again, another 2 winnable games. We need to sustain this and show we can do the Thursday, Sunday thing. Having the 2 squads like that we can have now in both Europe, because I think we made like 9 changes from the team that started in Europe. We did bring on Scamacca and Paqueta in the second half. But yeah, man, depth. We needed this last season. We needed it. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what Moyes does now. Benrahma's still not getting into the side in the Premier League, still not coming on as a sub. I don't know why he hates him. That's what makes it, his treatment of Benrahma as well. Things like that, it makes it hard for me to warm to him. But if you're winning, then that don't become an issue. Then it masks over that, as long as you're winning. If you're not winning, and you've got someone who's talented, who's creative.
I think, but is Benrahma, what is he like off the ball? Because that's the only thing I can think of as to why he's probably, is he not, does he not work hard?
He's not as industrious as Fornals off the ball.
That's probably what it is.
But this is the thing, like, again, what type of team do we want to be? What type of players did we buy to, and if you're playing certain games, again, like Fulham at home, surely we should be expecting to be on the front foot for that game. Wolves at home. Surely we should be expected to be on the front foot and be able to play Benrahma on the wing. He's better than Fornals on the wing, in my opinion. Fornals I don't look at as a winger, as a left winger. So I think Benrahma and Scamacca, they can do good things together, and Paqueta as well. Have some players that just link up with each other. Like Scamacca's link up play is just quality, man. and we need other players like that. But yeah, so look, Southampton away, they're a team in the dumps. We have to go and win that game. Like I said, I pointed those games out, and the season's kind of gone how I predicted. I said it on this show. We will start slow.
It went a lot slower than you thought, but yeah,
it went a little bit slower. I kind of expected like September to be the start of the turnaround. It was like end of September, early October. So yeah, it went a bit slower. But look, hopefully.
Listen, I'm looking forward to you guys getting back in amongst where you should be, because it only makes it more interesting. You know,
I've been taking.
No one wants to see West Ham down in the relegation zone. That's not what this show is about. It's about Europe. You know what I'm saying? It's about winning.
I do the Race for Europe show on Tobs Channel each week, and I have to hear comments. What's a West Ham fan doing in it? What's a West Ham fan doing it? When it's like now
creeping up, mate. Creeping up.
Almost. Not yet. You're still not in the top 10. Give it a couple more wins. Couple more wins. You're still 13th.
Right. Listen, we're joint 10th. We're joint 10th with Liverpool.
Newcastle are the ones, man. Watch out. Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh, you love your Newcastle, man. You love your Newcastle.
I don't love them. I just think they're a decent side, bro. I think they're a decent side.
Honestly, again, like same with us. I need a few more games. I need a few more weeks to really see what Newcastle are about. I need a few more weeks to see what we're about. And Man United, again, I watched the Everton game. Still frustrating team to watch. I know we're not talking about them, but it's the same with us. So we're starting to see. Remember, with 10 games in is what we looked at, and I said, let's see what's happening 10 games in. We win after Southampton game, that will be 10 games in. If we win that, we're on 13 points. That puts us.
That's enough now. That's enough now. Look.
You stress yourself out.
I had 30 seconds I got for Arsenal. So no one's yet said that. Well done, top of the league. Another 15-minute rant about West Ham finally winning 2 games for the first time in 10 months,
enough.
and we're still going.
You know what?
That's enough.
That's what you get when you're on time.
You're out here adding up, calculating the points that you'll have in 3 weeks if you win this 2 games.
I've been suffering on this show.
Well, you're only 13th, so you're gonna have to wait until next week to see if
you lot have been merciless. You lot have been merciless. I've been getting it.
Of course, we're merciless. What do you expect? We're your rivals. We're your rivals.
Yeah, but now there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, a bit. You're still not out the end of the tunnel yet. You've only beaten Fulham. You've beaten Fulham at home. I want you to remember what you've done. You haven't done anything mad.
Oh, Fulham have been good this season. Let's do a pots. Let's spin how great the other team was, or Tobs was picking up.
Fulham have been good, but you spent 179 million. So I'm not really trying to hear, Fulham are a big test for West Ham. This
track. I don't know if we even spoke about Chelsea, but this is
we haven't.
Okay, let's transition to Chelsea. You want to talk about spend? You want to talk about spend?
But this is why we're like, have I been gloating about a win at home to Wolves? No, I haven't. I've been saying,
why are you smiling then? Stop smiling. You should look sad.
Stop smiling. You should look sad. You beat Wolves 3-0.
It was a good win. Do you know what I mean? It was a very good win. I was more happy with like a couple individuals like Mason Mount and Gallagher starting to play a hell of a lot better. And Kai Havertz got a goal, Pulisic got a goal. So these guys needed goals. And for me right now, I'm just enjoying watching Potter tactically. It's fascinating because the guy plays about 3 or 4 different systems over the space of 2 matches, and you've just got to keep your eyes on what's going on because you think he's setting up in a 4-2-3-1, then it becomes like a 3 at the back with the Aspie pushed up to like a right midfield position. He had this like 4-man midfield 2-and-2 with Ruben and Jorginho, and then ahead of them Mason and Gallagher kind of like as your 4 to override Wolves. Outnumbered them completely in there.
Do you expect that to be the long-term situation, or do you think he's just trying to find?
No. I think from what I saw, before we wrap up, I think from what I saw at Brighton, he likes to keep changing the formation and the system, and he likes to keep people on their toes. And for what Brighton fans said is that everybody always knows their role, but you don't know how it's going to look on the pitch, and you don't know like exactly what position everybody's going to start in, but everybody knows what their role is. So I'm guessing to keep the cohesion from game to game, your role might not change too much in terms of what he expects from you in certain zones, but the template that we put out in the formation could always be anything. So yeah, it's
you know what's interesting there though? You know what's interesting there? For me, I think it's a bit of both. I think he's still testing out the waters, of course. But what's interesting is you mentioned at the top of that 4 players that were dead under Tuchel. Yeah. Mount playing poor. I thought Havertz nowhere to be seen. Pulisic was a player that under Lampard, funny enough, started to pick up, I thought, a little bit of form and then just tailed off. And Conor Gallagher, who's been playing in a double pivot under Tuchel, now all of a sudden them 4 players looking decent. So I feel that is a good sign. And I think Graham Potter will get it right. I'm a massive fan of this manager. I've said it a few times. I'll say it again. I don't like Chelsea, but I like Graham Potter.
It's annoying they have him because I want Potter to succeed.
Same, but I don't want him to do it at Chelsea. 100.
Yeah.
Because it's an up and coming progressive English manager. We want, I know, it's tough. Unlucky.
I just hope he goes to England, man.
It's too late for that. That's not happening anymore. But he was on the list to replace Southgate, I heard. But then obviously he came to us, so it's a lovely day.
Right. See my boy Brozier on the score sheet as well.
Good goal.
Brilliant finish. Diego Costa-esque. It was a wonderful finish.
It's funny because I've been getting a few stick from some West Ham fans because obviously I wanted Broja over Scamacca. As I said that, and Scamacca's been brilliant, and now
I kind of got that though, and I kind of did get that in a weird way because he's Premier League proven. I kind of got that, but Scamacca is wicked, man.
I wouldn't even say Broja's like Premier League proven because I don't feel like he's mastered the Premier League. Like he had a good loan at Southampton, but he still has a lot.
But it's less of a risk, I think, because he's obviously played.
But Scamacca was probably coming off a better season. So you're taking either the guy in form or you're taking the guy who played in the Premier League. I wouldn't say Broja was in form.
It's just the hit rate, the success rate of Italian strikers in the Prem hasn't been great. And Broja, as a young player, showed a lot of potential at Southampton. Like people was too busy focusing on his goals record. And like, he didn't score like 25 goals at Southampton. It's like Southampton was shit. But at the same time, you could see the quality. And it will be interesting to see how he does under Potter. If he can develop, if he gets more minutes. Like you said, turned around Mount. It was terrible, man, before Potter coming. He was so bad. And now he's looking back to himself. Havertz, I still don't really rate the guy. But maybe he can get something out of him. I mean, he's started to get the goals this season. He's, obviously got a goal against us, little rat. He scored in the in Europe, I believe, and he's starting to get him. So who knows? Maybe Potter could unlock Havertz and look Pulisic as well. So it's Chelsea interesting right now. It's going to be very interesting. I don't expect Chelsea to be just dominant straight away, but the project is an interesting one, I think, for neutral, just to keep your eye on and see how that develops. Wolves are terrible at the moment, so like you said, it's not the biggest test because like we beat Wolves, and I wasn't fully convinced because they're that bad at the moment. So Chelsea, who you got next?
AC Milan tomorrow, so that's my biggest focus, and obviously
AC Milan, in Europe,
Aston Villa and Brentford. So
Aston Villa.
We do need to go on a run. Like I've said it, up until the Manchester United game towards the end of the month, we need to go on a run, and if we go on a run. And we're not going to go along quietly, but I'm not going to be doing what you're doing, checking the table, adding up points, calculating, carrying the one, doing algebra. I'm not doing any of that.
You've been acting like you're just there. Like you've been acting.
No, it's not that. It's just that I don't care about the table right now. Like as long as I know if we win games, we got 3 points and we then made progress. I don't need to look at the table. I don't need to look at the points because really right now you don't get awarded shit for points right now. You get awarded for what your points are in May. So I need to look at that table in the new year after the World Cup or just before the World Cup. That's the next time I'll look at the table. And then when I see the table just before the World Cup, that will give me a bearing as to maybe how things might go. But right now, with 9 games in 1 month, I'm not bothered.
I love this.
I'm not
bothered. But you ain't had.
I love this from Matisse. This is Matisse who said Chelsea are going to win the league when they got Lukaku. Now he doesn't care about where they are on the league table.
Come on.
Yeah, because we're not winning the league. We're not going to win the league. And I keep telling everybody, because Robbie tried to, before we wrap up, Robbie tried to ask me, are you going to be in a title race? Because you're only, I don't know how many points off Arsenal. I said, no. If we're not winning the league, I always maintain second to fourth is not a trophy. Arsenal. Second to fourth is not a trophy. I don't celebrate second. I don't celebrate third. I don't celebrate fourth. It's an expectation, not a celebration.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
Now, for Lawless, if you was to get it, celebration, I hear it. But for us,
what about Arsenal? What about if they was to get it?
I don't know. That's up to Potts.
Celebration.
I've never agreed.
Don't do this because you're Arsenal propaganda man now. Don't do this. You've got the Arsenal fans loving you, praising you. I bet. And Matisse is good.
No.
Come on.
Listen.
No, I'm just saying.
Let's be real. They're gonna
I
throw
thought
a
you were talking
party
to
if
me.
they
I was
get
thinking, hang on.
Right, if they want to party, that's their business. Like
Come
party,
on, come on.
party hard, party hard. Do for
party
it.
hard.
Are you talking about me? Because you know I ain't
I know
celebrating
you're not
fourth.
going to, yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
okay,
just
cool.
thinking, I don't know
The
about
majority of your
I don't know
fans,
about
let's be
the
real.
wider Arsenal fans.
Oh no, the
they
Arsenal
will-
fans will be getting champagne out, 100%. Of
Right,
course
then
they
that's
will.
their business, isn't it? But for me,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
celebrate.
won't be, but
I
they
don't
will
celebrate
be.
top four. It's an expectation, not a
Same.
celebration. That's the way it
Same.
rhymes. So without further ado, we're gonna wrap up. Obviously, Lawless. I look forward to who you playing in Europe this week?
Anderlecht at home.
Oh fuck! It's not
Say
a funny
something.
Let them know where to find you.
Yes. At the Lawless on Twitter. I've been getting, I don't know, a lot of Arsenal fans on my case. I just replied to a harmless Matisse tweet and they're just fuming.
Oh, is it?
So I
Oh,
can't do
man.
anything right about Aubameyang.
Oh, yeah.
So they're on my case. So if you want to join them, join the bandwagon, come see me at the Lawless Twitter. West Ham Fan TV. We got the watch along for Anderlecht this Thursday, 8 o'clock kickoff. So come and join us there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Me, Jace, and Damo.
There you go, Potts. Let them know where to find you, bro. Appreciate it as always.
Nice. Yeah, man. Nice one, boys. Appreciate at Dan Arsenal 87 on all socials and at Football's 12th Man podcast on YouTube. Come and join us. You'll see us on the Race for Europe show. Me, Lawless, Tobs. We've got Grizz on as well to talk all things Liverpool after the result. So that'll be fun. And we've got Goonie as well because Lewis ain't about. He's in Milan. So, yeah, we've got that tomorrow night. So come and join us, people.
There you go. Well, guys, make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels. The links are in the description as always. Big up your damn selves. We're testing out some new thumbnails this month. So I hope, let me know in the comments down below if you're liking the new thumbnails as well. And yeah, until next time, big up. Peace, people. Peace.